episode of ET Retail Cafe by ET Retail. We are back to make your Monday mornings a very interesting. So we are covering 100 retailers with us, and today we are meeting whom? Can you guess? We are meeting none other than Tushar Vaid, who is the president of Apparel Group here in India. Tushar, a warm welcome to ET Retail Cafe.
Thank you, Charu.
So tell me, I want to know about how did your journey in retail started? What inspired you to be a retailer?
So Charu, just let me give you a family background. We come from a family from Oman. In 1904, my great grandfather started retail business in Oman as a grocery store, and then my father migrated in 1972 to Dubai. The retail company was started by my brother and his wife, Mr. Nilesh Vaid and Seema Vaid, in 1998. So we started. So we have always been business family. We have done textiles and we have done retail stores. We have done electronics, a lot of retail. But when my brother, after finishing his education, he came and started his own company with his wife. I joined him in 2008 to start the F&B business, which was a Cold Stone Creamery and Tim Hortons in Dubai.
So why do you wanted to be a part of retail industry? What inspired you? Were these the conversations over the dining table excited you, or what was the idea behind it?
So any business, it's retail or wholesale or distribution, or everybody needs a consumer. We saw the consumer shifting or the consumption happening in retail, where the big box stores were becoming individual stores. So if you have a big box, they were becoming individual branded stores. We see that shift happening, and where we come from, Dubai, we saw tourism increase and tourism were coming to the shopping mall. So all of a sudden, the infrastructure with the shopping malls, with the tourism, and with the brands wanting to come, and the consumption among the younger generation increasing, that was an inspiration for us to go and see what we can do much more in retail.
What was the idea behind coming to India? I mean, you were settling your business over there in Dubai. What inspired you to be here?
So we entered India in 2001. I moved to India in 2010. So we have almost been here more than 20 years now. Same story, the large population of India, the consumption story. I think what happened in 91, 94, when the government opened up the foreign companies to come in, before 94 or 91, products were coming in via other countries, not directly to India. And after 91, 94, we saw that consumption, younger generation wanting international brands, wanting to buy, wanting to see globally what's happening. Travel started, travel was happening. I think that inspired us to realize that India is a long-term game, and you have to be in the market, which is the largest market, largest population in the world. We cannot be not in India. And I keep saying this to everybody: the biggest risk in India is not being in India.
So how do you see India market panning going ahead? I mean, you have been here, must have seen the consumer behavior changing earlier, now, and how it is going to like in the future. And what inspires you to go take the how it inspires you to take the brand ahead?
As a what we have seen in India, what has changed in the last so many years is the digital infrastructure. India has become very big. So when we talk about that, we talk about the UPI and we talk about the Aadhaar card and the eKYC. The government is also stacking that up, also making it important that the consumer is looking at the younger generation, looking at all that. Also the Instagrams and the Facebook and the Twitters. They are looking at the Insta, looking at the fashion. They are traveling globally. The market is large. The consumption is large. We are the largest population, young population in the world. That is growing. People are willing to spend. They want to go out, spend time with their family. They also want to go to restaurants. They also want to go to the shopping malls. Also want to digitally shop. I think that all is helping consumption. The large population, the travel, the social media is all helping the population to understand globally what's happening. And they are saying, why can't we have this in India? And if you ask me, everything is there in India. You don't need to travel abroad. You can just buy whatever you need. Everything is available. But still you will go abroad. Still you want to travel. You want to see the other countries.
luxury brands, bridge to luxury brands, and now we see a spurt of D2C brands also have entered Indian space, retail space to be specific. But we have seen that the new age brands which are entering, they are disrupting the category and they are not focusing upon sustainability and profitability. So, what do you think is the right way to take the business ahead? Should they continue focusing upon this thing, the way they are focusing upon disrupting the category, or sustainability and profitability matters a lot?
For a startup, it's a very different way to look at business. They look at that as an investment for the future, capturing the market share.
Yeah.
And they disrupt. They will have losses, their shareholders do, and then they will offload it on an IPO. It's a very different way of doing business. People are smart, right? There are people who have made money. There are companies in the US who have disrupted and started making money after 20 years. So it's a long term game. A lot of out of maybe 100 brands, few will survive, few will not. But if you ask me personally, profitability and the creating shareholder value is the most important. And the consumer, what are you giving to the consumer? I don't think pricing is a game. There are products which are available for a rupee, and there can be a product available, same product for 10 lakh rupees. I don't think pricing is a game. It's what value you're giving to the customer for that category of product. And that's important. Profitability, according to me, is the most important. Creating shareholder value and giving a good quality product to your consumer so they come back. You don't want to be profitable in the short term and not giving them products that they won't come back again. You want the customer with you to be there for the lifetime, or what we call the lifetime value of a customer. How many times he or she has shopped, bought from us, how can we help them better, what can we do to increase the purchasing, how are we different from competition, are they fulfilling their need, and are we giving them the value for the price or for the service that they're giving, for the product also.
So you are waiting the consumer for a lifetime that means.
You have to build consumer for that. I think it's a journey.
So when you have 11 brands under your portfolio here in India, how did you decide which category is the right category and which brand is the right match for this for here in India?
So we have a complete research team, and what we also have, we have a lot of connect globally, right? So when we talk to the international brands, a few things we are seeing is changing perception globally in India. A lot of them are similar. Some brands you have to Indianize the brands and will that product at that price point. Will the today's generation buy that product? That's what we look at. So information is key.
Yeah.
Right? When we talk to globally to certain brands, when we talk globally to certain shopping malls, even consumers, they will tell us this is what we are looking at. There are new brands coming in which we are talking to. We want to bring them to India. They are not ready because they don't have the supply. And those brands are very hot. We see them becoming even very important in the next 5 years. So having a vision, where this brand will take you in next 5 years is important. The other thing you also need to see, what are the brands that would be, you can't Indianize the product, you can't change the DNA of the product, but will it fit the Indian consumer or the Indian environment? It's like getting snow boots in India, right? Or selling it in Bombay or Mumbai. It doesn't work. So you have to be careful. There's a category of that customer who will go to north when it's snowing and and use those boots, but a very small category. Do you want to be a specialist in that, or do you want to bring customers products which are different? North is more colder, south is more warmer. The products in north are different. Even uh, the clothes that people wear, does it match? Can you wear certain products in the Indian context? Will the environment or the climate or even the infrastructure support that? When I say infrastructure, I mean the roads or this. Will you be able to wear certain kind of footwear and walk on them? It's very different. And even when we talk about coffee, the consumption of coffee abroad is much more in the morning because people take a coffee 6 o'clock, they drive and they go. Here it's more afternoon, evening. It's more a social event. There it's more like it's a work thing. You just wake up, go have coffee, take your donut, and go to work. Here it doesn't work. You still have your breakfast at home, right? And you go and have coffee in the office. You don't pick up coffee and drive to work. It's a very different way you need to.
But we are moving to that coffee and croissant culture, aren't we?
We are moving to that, but are you moving to the same timing?
That is a problem, right?
And the traffic, right? And the roads, and the rain, and the weather. So it's a you have to be careful not to bring a brand and generalize it and put it as it is. You'll have to localize certainly. There are more vegetarians in it.
Yeah.
So you'll have to have a vegetarian menu. You can't be successful with a brand if you're not able to make it vegetarian. For the coffee brand that we do, uh, and same thing goes with the product. Out of the thousands of collection we see, we curate what is important, what will work in India, what colors will work. And I tell this to people. I say, when you're designing for India, remember India is a tropical country. It's very colorful. We celebrate all festivals. We have all religions, all shapes, all sizes, kind of people, and don't generalize to one market saying, oh, I'm only selling to a North America market, European market, or East. It's a different consumer, different sizes.
Right.
Are you able to cater to it? And a lot of brands make that mistake, bringing the brand as it is without understanding that the Indian consumer is different and you need more color. You can't, people love color in their product, right? We wear colorful clothes. So it's very different.
So Indian consumer is absolutely different when it comes.
100%. 100, absolutely. And that's where the international brands and their partners in India need to understand. That is the core. I moved in 2010 to India, and it took me 3 years to understand India. So I went in a train, I went in a bus, I went to different cities, and I've lived majority of my life abroad. And when I moved here, I was like, I speak the language. So I speak Hindi, I speak English, Hindi, my language Gujarati, Kutchi. I speak 3 4 languages. But in Mumbai, you need Marathi. In South, you need another language. In Delhi, you need another language. And I was amazed that there were like, within 3 days, there were like 10, 15 festivals celebrated across India.
Yeah.
How are you going to market that? How are you going to say there's Lori, then there is Pongal, then there is Diwali, there is Dasera, there is Durga Puja, there is Eid, there is a Parsi New Year, there is a Christmas, there is a Good Friday. How do you manage in different states or in the same state? And how will you have what promotions you do? How will you market your brand? What are the sensibilities? So you have to figure that out. And somebody who comes from a market which is very same consumer, same, it is very difficult for them to understand India. Understanding India is the key for success.
So Tushar, 11 brands in the portfolio. Which one is your favorite and why?
My favorite is Aldo.
Why?
I have to be careful what I say on that. But we started Aldo around 2004 or 5 in India. They are very open to the idea to understand the brand. They are very organized in the systems that they have. So they are very good systems. They have men, women category both.
Yeah.
And they are able to go across and they're willing to understand. I think that's important. Aldo is the first brand in India where we took a Bollywood celebrity, Janvi Kapoor, as a brand ambassador. And they understand that in India, we will need that. Okay, consumer will relate to that. They want to relate to a brand. So they are willing to adopt. They are willing to say, okay, they have a wedding collection for India because they understand the wedding is a big market for India. And that willing to them without changing their DNA. They're not changing their DNA. They are fashionable. They are a global brand. Their stores globally will look the same. Their products are high quality, but they will have certain products curated for the Indian consumer, understanding the Indian sensibility, and they're willing to listen. And they're very organized.
So when you say you bring any brand to India, you don't bring the entire collection which is available abroad. You just personalize the things as per the Indian consumers' needs and present them in a very
No, we
nice.
bring 80% of the collection. 20% is curated. When I say curated means they will have 1,000 SKUs
Yeah.
and you will select about 300, 400, 500 globally. That's how all the brands work. And you will have 80% same collection, but 20% you curate for the Indian market. It's like I can't bring snow boots. I can't bring certain products which we don't think will work in India because of the climate or the category. Certain sizes. We also know what sizes work, certain colors, certain things. So 80% will be the same. 20% we curate like a wedding collection. Like Delhi will have more boots, Mumbai will have less boots. So that's you have to also. There's another brand we have Bath and Body. They have 1,200 fragrances, 1,500 fragrances. What works in India within like floral, other countries like other kind of fragrances. What are the fragrances you like? What are the fragrances that the Indian consumer wants?
Yeah.
We are not changing the brand or the product. We
The
are saying
DNA
we'll
of
have
the
more of
brand
that.
stays the same.
DNA is the same, product is the same. Globally, you will get it. But there will be 10-15% of the product or more of what is selling or what the consumer wants or expects. That's a lot of people don't understand that. And one thing I want to share with you. People say when you're looking at a brand, why you get some, why you don't get some. I think there are certain brands which we do in GCC. We have a lot of brands. We have 75 brands there. We don't bring them to India because we don't think will work in India for the Indian consumer. The consumer abroad is very different in a different country. Similar, you can't say what works there will work here, but you have to figure out that midway part. And the biggest challenge is also to convince the principal to come to India to see why it is so different. You can't make a judgment sitting somewhere outside and saying this is what India is till you don't live here, till you don't walk the streets, till you don't take the metro or the rail or the you will not understand. Till you don't go to the festivals, you will not understand.
These are the learnings which you must be applying to your brands as well. How did you accumulate these small learnings and which are helping you grow here in India?
It is, I think it's ingrained. So I will not be able to specify how one thing, but you will see that reflect in the culture of the company. When you say culture of the company, when we moved in, we realized there are, officially there are certain holidays you get. We said, no, we will give you 3, 4 more extra holidays because every religion, every festival has some importance to you.
Yeah.
So say, okay, you can decide what holiday you want. Besides the government approved holidays, there'll be few holidays for you. You decide. You want to take a holiday for a break, or you want a holiday take for your Parsi New Year, or you want to take for Eid, or you want to take for Diwali or Christmas. Diwali, yes, you'll have 1 or 2 days as per government, but you want to take the Sera, Navratri, whatever you want, right? So these are small things that people look at. You know, acceptance, understanding is important. And you will see that even in sensibilities when we advertise, right? The first time we advertised, and it took us a lot of time, is in Bath and Body Works, we advertised a Raksha Bandhan campaign.
Yeah, remember?
And it took us a lot of time. And the way it was done was we had to explain what Raksha Bandhan is globally. How it's like I going and they tell me a festival I wouldn't understand. Right? There are some festivals I don't
Yeah.
understand abroad, and we have to explain to them what Raksha Bandhan. We have to share videos of what Raksha Bandhan means, right? And there were conversations, understanding. They understood this is important festival and that it can be good festival for gifting. So we use Raksha Bandhan for gifting. Then we made an Indian campaign, which was like, on the cards we would write रात को 2 बजे मेरे लिए noodles कौन बनाएगा, right? The brother telling the sister telling the brother. So these are sensibilities that and it are important festivals. So that
Adding
takes time.
emotion to things.
I think emotion. India is a very emotional country. I think it is so diverse and it's very emotional. And you will see, every kilometer, every 10 kilometer, 100 kilometer, language change, food change, clothes change, climate changes. and you have to manage that.
What are the challenges that you foresee for yourself going ahead?
The biggest challenge is not learning. One thing that as a company we have done, and we have initiated, we have sent our CEO. Our CEO is currently doing a Harvard business course, saying learn, right? Learn in India. Now he's going to Boston to complete that course. He will become a Harvard alumni. We have sent someone to IIM for executive education. Somebody else has done another IIM, different IIMs for executive education. The day you stop learning, you stop growing. I think that's the biggest challenge. And we encourage people to do two things: learn and travel. Two things that teach us. There are times where we meet people, we are traveling and we don't even know we have a large company, and we meet them in the lounge or we meet them at the airport. Oh, where are you going? I'm going to Turkey, or I'm going to US, or I'm going to India. And like, oh, you're here in Bombay. Sometimes we come to know after they have landed.
Yeah.
You learn a lot from travel, and you learn a lot when you go back to school. When I say back to school, executive education, digital learning, it's very important. I've done finance and marketing from Boston University. I'm an alumni. And then I did my executive education OPM and owner president management at Harvard. So I became a Harvard alumni. And these two experiences, and in between, we even have Harvard professors coming to our head office, and then we have courses and classes with all the top management. And we have done also with 300, 400 people where there's some speaker coming. So education, learning and travel. Learning and travel are the two most important. If you stop doing that, you will not, you will become stagnant.
But one more thing which I've noticed is that understanding technology has also become an important aspect for anyone and a talent transfer. So, what sort of technologies are you implementing at Apparel Group here in India?
So let me start with pre-COVID and post-COVID. Pre-COVID, our e-commerce business was only 2%. Today, our e-commerce business in India is 30%.
Oh wow!
And what we realized is we had a target to do 20-25% in 4 years, which we did in 1.5 years. And COVID pushed us to do that because the retail stores were closed. It was a tough time. Stocks are there, stocks are at the port, stocks are in the warehouse. We had all the resources diverted to e-commerce. So e-commerce is open, online is open. Divert all your senior management, lower management, everybody in the company has one focus. Let's sell the stock, let's get to the consumer, let's give him home delivery, WhatsApp selling, whatever you need to do.
So that was the time actually when the digital era or the digital retail got a great push.
Yes.
What if, I mean, the push is still there? What if digital replace or maybe technology replaces your job someday? What will you do?
I don't believe that technology will replace jobs. I think people will have to evolve. It's like saying when computers came in, right,
Yeah.
people will lose their job. When things will change. So and to give you an example, my great grandparents used to go tell me stories about 1 month. Used to take us to go from here to Oman or Dubai, in a ship, third class, second class. Ships are no more for traveling, right? They are
Yeah.
more cruises. The formula has changed. Ships are there, but they have become cruises. They are 1 week cruise, $1 billion ships are there. Aircrafts have taken. When the mobile phones came with camera, the camera industry died.
Yeah.
You will evolve. The mobile became your camera, the mobile became your notepad. It is replacing things. I think it will replace certain category of jobs. I don't think you lose a job. Okay, computers have not replaced, it has made it better. People say mobile phones, yeah, it was easier. Yeah, but mobile phones makes it easier to connect. I've done Zoom calls from my car. Right? I'm stuck in traffic, I'm traveling, I'm at the airport, I'm at home, I've done Zoom calls there. There will be enhancement, a lot of things will come in. And technology, you will, it's like a 5-year-old kid today knows how to use electronic better than I do.
True.
It just happens. Right? it just evolves. Humans evolve. I think the evolution is happening. But I don't think it is going to create where, oh, there are no jobs, people are losing. Oh, you will evolve. It will become a normal part of your life. I have to go to my daughter who's 20 and tell her, teach me how to do this, teach me how to do it, right? And she'll do it. I'm like, okay, explain to you, like, Dad, you'll not understand. It's so fast, right? Their thinking is so fast.
True.
And it just changes.
But Tushar, there is a change in the consumer dynamics also. If I talk about my parents, there used to be a time that they used to understand how to order online.
Yes.
But now everybody is learning that way and everybody is getting comfortable doing the same thing.
See, everybody is comfortable. You are in a situation, you have to do it. We will not have to teach that to our kids or grandkids, right? They will come, born, will land, they'll have a mobile, they'll have a whatever, the technology will be so much ahead. It will also make it easier. Right? I would say if you have to, let's say, travel to another country to operate, or an Indian doctor wants to operate on a patient abroad, I'm sure there are robotics there where the doctor is sitting here operating on a robot there. It will make it easier. I think life will become different, but I don't think you will lose. And you will evolve. You will adopt. Your education system will adopt. Your companies will adopt. The people who say, oh, it's not going to change is a problem. It is changing. How are you going to do that? So, again, coming back to a small example, e-com. We had 2 people in the company or 3 people handling e-commerce business. We had 2%. Today we had 40 people. And we think we need to add 10 more. We did not understand what performance marketing was. We did not understand how to advertise, how to do Instagram, to this, YouTubers, bloggers.
Influencer marketing.
Influencer marketing. Okay, television will move to. So I've been listening to a lot of podcasts nowadays, right? I was listening to a lot of TV. Now I moved to podcast. What happened? The channel changed. The person is now coming on TV and doing debate. He's now doing debate on YouTube, on a podcast. It's changed. The medium has changed. Cameras, photographs are there, but the medium has changed. You would carry a bulky photograph, you would print it. Now you change the medium. And you can store much more photographs. And you can also see, 5 years back, I went to this place, I want to see a photograph on your mobile.
Things are becoming easier that way.
Easier, accessible. Home delivery, like you have the people delivering food at home. It's just changed. Before we would call the restaurant, they would deliver it, or you would send somebody to pick it, or you would go and pick it up. It's just changed. You order online, it's home in 20 minutes.
But that is a different debate which has been going on. Let's not get into it. Tushar, let's get back to the parallel group. I want to know, the time is running. So, last question from me to you. That what is the future that you foresee for apparel group here in India? And what sort of brands or what categories are you planning for into? What sort of brands are you planning to get here? There might be some space for sure.
We have about 6 NDAs signed. So, we'll not share with you the brands that we are working on. But the brands that Indian consumers are looking at, a lot of international brands, a lot of local brands also, but a lot of international brands want to come to the Indian market. There's a lot of space I see in all categories, but the big categories are definitely the kids wear, categories in the fashion, footwear, handbags, accessories, everything. Even cafes, there is a category for that. Consumption has gone up. Younger generation is spending more. They want to see more brands. They don't want to be stuck to 2 or 3 brands. And a lot of brands we'll also bring in will be very different. And this is something I believe myself. 30, 40 years back, when you would see an ad for a brand, it would be khakis and white. Right? It was like a uniform. Everybody is wearing the same clothes. If everybody is wearing denim, everybody is denim. That will change. There will be individual brand targeting a different consumer who wants to wear a different kind of clothes, and you are belonging to that. It is no more like a military uniform or a school uniform. It will be very individualistic. So there are a lot of brands that will be very individualistic, catering to your needs or to that particular consumer needs.
We'll speak about the personality of a person.
Not about personality of the group. saying, oh, everybody has to wear denim or khakis and white. Those days are gone. Every white shirt, everybody wears a white shirt. No, you can
You're
wear.
still wearing a white shirt.
I'm still wearing a white shirt. I'm still old school. Right? I'm still old school, but that's my personality. But there are people whose personality. I have friends who would wear different kind of t-shirt, and it's acceptable. And acceptance is very
Yeah.
important.
True.
And you're individual, and that's your brand. And that's where this sustainability, this vegan. My brand is sustainable. My brand is vegan. My brand is cruelty free. My brand is CSR. My brand doesn't do. So that's where the individualistic brands will come.
True.
So a lot of brands like that we get in also.
Oh, nice. So, Tushar, before we close, let's have a rapid fire kind of a chat where I'm going to ask questions to you. Either I bombard questions at you and you have to answer them without thinking. So, tell me one thing, which is your favorite business book and what have you learned from that?
My favorite business book is a book called Nuts by Southwest Airlines. It's about Southwest Airlines. I think the way they work with the consumer, they work with their employees, and the way they save cost. So I think it brings all three and a very different strategy. And I think the airline which has always made money. Southwest is one airline, maybe last in COVID they lost, but they've always made money and a very different strategy.
Where do you shop from? Online or offline, being an omnichannel retailer?
I'm a multi consumer, and I will tell you, all my fashion shopping or clothes shopping happens offline, but my home shopping or for my house happens online. So anything for my house, even the grocery is all online. But anything I want to buy in fashion, I would love to go to a mall, spend a lot of time there, see what they are selling, what's in fashion, touch and feel the product. So I do both.
Mix up both.
Yeah, but fashion, I would still go to retail store. I wouldn't buy it online. That's my personal view. But the consumers have to buy both.
So everybody knows that Tushar is running 11 brands here in India under the apparel group, but they don't know what to do in your free time. So what do you prefer to do in your free time?
You know, I like to read. So I read. I watch a lot of TV serials. So that's something. And the best time I get, I tell people, the best thinking time I get is when I'm on a long flight. Anything more than 9 hours, 7 hours, you get so much thinking time. And I carry a diary and I'll put down what strategy, what I need to do, improve for me, improve for the company, how what strategies need. I do that on aircraft. So that's my free time. A lot of travel, but that 6 7 hours gives me a lot of peace. And reading and watching a lot of TV serials, Indian and international.
Oh, nice. What not? What if you wouldn't have been in the retail industry? What you would have been doing there?
I would still be selling to consumers, but I don't know what. Right? I tell people we are retailers. We can do anything in retail, any retail brand. Right? People say, why are you not doing this? Right? Like any retail brand, we can do online and offline now both, and just understand the consumer. What are the consumer needs? How can we make our consumer? How can we make our customer happy? How can we give them value? And what is it that they'll come back to us for? So anything.
So either you're sleeping or you are awake. You see yourself as a retailer only.
I see anything as I would tell everybody is a retailer, right? Anyway, you are anyway selling to some consumer, right? You're not consuming yourself.
So one retailer that you admire a lot, or maybe one brand that you admire a lot and why?
It's a tough one because there are many I admire, but
You're not supposed to think. I mean, it is supposed to be.
I have so many brands on my brand. I can't reveal
Not
certain
from
brand
your
names.
own kitty, maybe from some other brand that is here in India, abroad that you look up to, or the retailer that you look up to.
I would only say apparel group. I can't think of anybody better than apparel group. I look up to them and their journey from 98 from one store to 2050 plus stores. It's a remarkable journey and different brands, different 14 countries, so many different things, and we have done so many different things. It's just unbelievable. It's just the journey has been fantastic.
One thing that you want the people or the retailers to look up to you and learn from you. One quality.
Be compassionate. I think it's very important. Take care of your employees, take care of the people who work for you, and that's the most important. I think that everything is taken. Just be nice. I just like to be nice. Don't do anything, just be nice.
So, like, we have been nice to each other during this interview, and I hope you enjoyed this conversation.
I loved it.
I also love equally this conversation. I hope you will also love this conversation the way we loved it. We'll be back with another story, another retailer next week. Till then, bye.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you, John.
Thank you.